Jackson Podcast.
Play Certified Lover Boy.
Not Like Us Explicit by Kendrick Lamar now playing.
Psst, I see dead people.
Hey, man. Let me turn that off so I won't get no copyright strike, man. Real talk. We got to have a conversation. It's a lot of things that has transpired this week, this previous week, this holiday week, this Thanksgiving. And I want to have the conversation about it because I don't have a dog in the fight. I like both of these guys' music, Kendrick and Drake, at the end of the day. Drake, he actually shitted on Kendrick Lamar project by putting this lawsuit out. He's trying his best to like keep him out of the limelight so he can keep his spot in the game. And this lawsuit is serious, it's deep. It will have an impact on all artists that's trying to get in the game and that's already in the game. And this is me objectively speaking. I want to celebrate Kendrick Lamar for that last project that he just put out, GNX, because I seen people say it was mid. I seen people say that it's only 3 records on there or whatever. And to me, it's a great body of work. The energy that he's coming off of with the diss tracks and all of that, you know, it's different. Hearing him on a lot of those West Coast instrumentals like that. And what's up with people not really rocking with the West Coast like that? You know, I ain't from the West Coast. I've been living in the East, the Southeast my whole life. Tennessee and the Carolinas and the East Coast just in general my whole life. And I was raised up on Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, Friday, Ice Cube music, NWA music, MC8, Spice One, Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Celly Cell, Mac Mall, the Bay Boys and all of that. I was raised up on that. Salute to the West Coast. Real talk. Salute to the West Coast, man. It's like, to me, the East Coast people, we really don't be rocking with everybody like that. It's just like people in their own bubble or whatever. And that album, I want to say that it's one of those albums, it's a grower. Pause. It's a grower because when you listen to a lot of lyrical artists, they're not going to give you the dance instant hit records. You got to indulge in the creative process. You got to indulge in the lyrics to have an understanding for what's being said. Real talk. But salute to Kendrick Lamar, man. That album was fire. Salute to the West Coast for running 2024. My opinion. They've been handling business. Hey, man, I like the place that hip hop is in, man. Thank y'all for checking out my content and my platform also. On this episode, we're going to talk about the Preaction that Drake is putting up against UMG. I'm going to play a few celebrities. I'm going to read a little bit of the lawsuit that's, you know what I mean, pending or whatever that he just want to see. I want to talk about Wayne, Lil Wayne, his reaction to Kendrick Lamar's bars on the GNX album and everything. And I hope my boy Guy Jackson listening too, man. I need you Sunday, dog. I need you Sunday. I want you to come on the episode and chop it up with me and give me your perspective. But the first clip I want to play is something from the Brilliant Idiots podcast with Charlamagne the God and Andrew Schwartz. Let's get to it.
One, what is the next move for Drake?
Lawsuit.
No.
That motherfucker is gonna sue. Listen.
Why? He needs to sue all the investigators on Twitter have been pulling all the stories.
The investigators on Twitter ain't got shit to lose. Let me tell you something. Drake is half white.
Exactly.
Okay?
This is what
y'all about to
talking
learn.
about. Saying he's gonna go
Drake mama's side of the family is like, oh no, Aubrey. No. This man is out here calling you a pedophile.
Not
Listen,
Aubrey.
there's probably people at Nike. There's probably people at Universal. There's people that got real vested interest in Drake. That is a multi-billion dollar entity. Yeah. They're like, you gotta protect your name. Fuck all that rap shit. Yeah. Call your cousin. Call your cousin who's the lawyer. All right.
But then he just gonna prove Kendrick right.
Who said Kendrick was wrong? Drake knows he's half white.
No, I'm just saying what Kendrick was just saying how he don't know his black. Like,
He's not suing. He
can't. I'm saying, like, I can see him suing.
You know, the assumption that Drake was going to sue by Charlamagne the God was an assumption that he was going to sue Kendrick Lamar. But he's suing UMG. Now, we got to talk about some things when it comes to this lawsuit. He has an argument to me. And I think that it's a possibility that he can win the argument, but it's a possibility that he can lose and other things that transpire from this, and it'll take it away from the argument. And I think that hip hop should pay close attention to this, because I'm going to play a little bit of audio. I know everybody watched the Law and Crime YouTube channel because of the Young Thug case and a lot of other things that they have been showing and having lives about. But they just had a live of the guy that supposedly did something to XXXTentacion, and he was talking about Drake was involved. And what timing, like it's perfect timing. It just happened 6 hours ago. Today is Saturday, the day after Black Friday. I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you did your shopping and all of that old type of stuff though. But this is the day after Black Friday that I'm releasing this podcast. And if you go look up that clip right now on Law and Crime, I'm gonna put it in the description so y'all can check it out yourself. But it's interesting that you know what I mean, has came up right after he filed the Preaction petition against UMG. Interesting, but we gotta talk about that though, man, because Drake is a super big artist, pause, and Spotify and UMG is reaping benefits. I remember when Hove came out with Tidal, and he was trying to give people equity in the company if they came over and been a part of Tidal. Looking at Spotify and Apple Podcasts now with 350 million paid subscribers paying $10 a month. Man, they making billions a month. I don't know the accurate number, but they're making billions a month. And it's ridiculous how much money they're making. And Drake is kind of responsible for a lot of those people subscribing to those platforms. But he didn't take equity in the company. He took money, upfront money. Now, I bet looking back at it, he's looking like, golly, I done made these people billions of dollars and I only took a couple of hundreds of millions. That's a lot of money, and he shouldn't be disgruntled because his position in hip-hop now. He dropped 2 duds, man. Real talk. That album with 21 Savage was a dud. That dance album, I don't even remember the title to it. That was a dud, man. He dropped 2 duds. He's not the same artist that he once was, numbers-wise, and what he was celebrity-wise and attention-wise. His stock has been devalued because of this beef. And in our reality, he caused it on himself because he was on the song with J. Cole reaching for some attention from Kendrick Lamar, reaching, trying to call him out to get him up out the dance and chop it up with him. And look what has happened. All of this stuff has happened. He's suing UMG. The XXXTentacion thing is brought back up. He lost the battle. He losing money. He lost his position in hip hop for just not ignoring something that he didn't even have to participate in. Let me play the next clip though.
Legality standpoint, if I'm Drake, I'm saying, look, you have a fiduciary responsibility to me too, right? You're supposed to represent my interests, and instead of representing my interests, you're not only, it's not like you're just investing in another artist, you're deliberately undermining and illegally undermining me by doing payola and all this other shit to make me look worse, and like, not like us as just an example of a bigger business pattern that UMG has.
And they said, hold on, what if they did the same exact thing, I'm sure they probably did, by the way, to Family Matters, which called Kendrick a fucking wife beater and all this other shit?
Which is what Kendrick said. If that money got in the hands of a crash dummy, this could have affected me differently. And
he did say that.
And it don't start there. It don't start at Family Matters. I think that Drake has a lot of valid shit in his suit.
Yeah, me too.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. Also, I do 3. Like Joe Budden, them, they had a phenomenal podcast, man, on Patreon. Only time I'll be paying for the Patreon is when they have like something exclusive about Drake, Dr. Umar, Candace Owens, or somebody on the podcast. But that episode 779, man, That was a dope episode. He discussed a lot on there that needed to be discussed. And I think that lawsuit is kind of like, it's interesting. It's really, really interesting because I could tell by me being a YouTube content creator, me releasing music, that something was involved in skewing the numbers the way that they did. Those numbers was ridiculous when you looked at the release of those songs. Like, I would be on the platform trying to listen to the song and create a perspective and a show around those disc records when they was dropping them back to back. And I would look at the numbers. It'd be out for a minute and it'd be at 5 to 10 million views. Then the views would go down. Then the views would come up. And then it'll look like comments is not human reaction comments. So this has been going on for a long time in the music industry. Not just with bots and streams and adding extra plays to videos and stuff. Public perception is what creates a superstar. And that's what they did with the record from Kendrick Lamar, a couple of those records. To me, Kendrick Lamar, they was hits regardless. I ain't saying that the songs wasn't hits, but they had some additional assistance to make them songs look bigger than they actually was. And that's just real spill from my perspective, my objective, me objectively speaking. Those songs wasn't doing those numbers like that. But at the end of the day, Drake has been doing that his whole career. His numbers has been inflated his whole career. A lot of artists' numbers has been inflated their whole career. When Lil Wayne dropped Carter 3, them numbers was inflated. 1 million a week. Labels had been buying CDs, albums for years and decades to inflate the numbers to make you think that this person is more popular than they really are. Radio play, we're going to get to that because I got to play the clip from Funk Flex and read it. Radio play is at an astronomical high. Like the numbers and the price to get your song on the radio. If you ain't got, it's pay to play. You can't play if you ain't willing to pay. Real talk. That's as simple as it gets. You can't play if you ain't willing to pay. Before I get to the next clip, I'm going to read y'all what Funk Flex had to say on his Instagram. Drake is 100% right. National play per song. Drake don't pay for play. Pop, charts, radio, $350K a song. Urban radio, $250K a song. Mix show, $100K a song. Local mix show director, $40K. Local DJ, $3 to $5K per song. DJs on the radio, 5 days a week. This is why independent artists don't rise to the top. All you artists know I ain't never take it down from none of you. Your manager or your labels. The bomb don't have no price. Salute to Funk Flex. That boy been in the game for at least 30 years on the DJ tip at Hot 97. You know what I mean? Doing clubs and all of that. Salute to Funk Flex one more time. You know, I witnessed that, man. My time in the game. And I'm still creating phenomenal records. We're going to play one of them at the end of the show. It's just that I remember a time in the game where I was releasing records and I was thinking that everything was legit. People was legit. The business was legit. They was just going to play my song just because I was me. Just because I was the popping dude in the town. It wasn't nobody hotter than what I was releasing. And it still ain't in my hometown. You know what I mean? It'll never be. Unless I'm dead and gone. But I was listening to the radio and they was uplifting an artist. And a couple of artists. And he had investors and all of that. And they uplifted another artist, and he had investors. I could have paid to play, but I didn't want to pay because the streets was speaking for me. Now, in the game now, it's artists that I know personally, professionally, that's creating phenomenal music. They wonder why they ain't getting played. They wonder why don't nobody want to invest in their music or come get them and sign them to a deal. It ain't about, nobody wants to help you. I'm sorry, man. Nobody wants to help you. They got to see a benefit financially in it. And then they'll invest in it and make more than you off of it and give you crumbs off of your art and your creativity. That's how dirty the game is. And by me speaking about that, this lawsuit or whatever it is, this pre-action petition that Drake put out, because I don't want to use the word lawsuit when it's a pre-action petition. The petition is, we want y'all to show the books. We want to see what's really going on. Why this song was inflated like that. And he knows why it was inflated like that, because they have done his songs like that previously also. And they may have done other people's songs like that. So the game dirty. Everything is dirty about hip hop, man. And like what was said by Mark Lamont Hill in that clip that I played, they had a fiduciary responsibility to look out for Drake's best interest, and they didn't do it. And that's why he filed the pre-action petition, and he got a chance to win this. Now, I'm going to go on to the next topic of discussion, because I ain't trying to be here too long, man, on the show, but I'm trying to get down to the paperwork that was released so I can read a couple of the clips for y'all and then read the UMG response. But I wonder where the OGs was at, because during the beef, 50 Cent, it seemed like he had Drake's side. The Game, it seemed like he was on Drake's side. A lot of the older individuals, they was riding with Drake, but now they quiet. Now that this pre-action petition came out, they quiet. But one OG said something, and he was talking about a soft society. Let's play it.
Who filed a lawsuit. I like Drake music. I don't like what he got going on right now, but I like his music. Some things you don't talk about. You don't talk about payola. You don't talk about buying live streams. And you don't sue after you got dissed. And you done did some dissing. But that's y'all new people. That's y'all young people. Y'all young people live in a soft society. So I'm glad I'm an OG. All y'all young people, soft. God damn it. Y'all soft. Y'all soft. You got soft men. You got rappers getting a diss war, and then they go get the gun and shoot each other. No, how about going fight? Our favorite rappers are snitching on, talking about payola. And getting in their feelings and suing people over a diss. We dissed each other. Me and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg dissed each other, and other rappers, Real Roxanne, Shantae, everybody dissed each other. One thing off limit, the kids off limit, girlfriends off limit, mama off limit, all that. That's what y'all do. Just keep it a buck.
Jackson Podcast.
Man, that music Uncle Luke had playing in the background gonna kill the monetization of this show, but it's cool. I ain't tripping off no bread like that. But what was said during that clip is interesting about soft society. I'm 44. I come from a different era. Drake ain't that far behind me though. Like, he 37. It ain't that. He ain't even a decade younger than me. 37. He might be 38 now. 6 years ain't that much. But what's interesting about what Uncle Luke said is that it's a soft society. It's rules and regulations to the game. That's the point that make old niggas fall off and fall apart. Because they don't realize the game done changed. The game has changed. People suing. People snitch. I ain't saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right that they doing what they doing. People suing. People snitching. People looking out for their best interest. Even though they did dirt and they contributed to the foolishness. They still You know what I'm saying? Doing what's in their best interest. And it's foul, but he ain't sued Kendrick. He sued UMG for their participation in elevating the record. That's crazy. Now, dissing, I want to say something about the dissing. The diss records. It was a point in time where Kendrick was telling Drake that we can keep it beef. We don't have to take it there. We don't have to take it to the next level. We can just keep it rap. Then he wanted to start talking about wives and children. Drake wanted to start going below the belt. So Kendrick went below the belt. He started talking about you're a pedophile. You know, they say that that's a pedophile anthem. Oh, I don't want to say that on my platform. They say that that's that, but he told him, do we really want to take it there before this beef transpire? And Drake took it there. He didn't listen. You know, to me, he said your superpower's been neutralized. He neutralized his superpowers. That's an interesting take, man, because he gives people, Kendrick had gave people like the opportunity to back down before they involve themselves, they engulf themselves into the foolishness. And he really engulfed himself into the foolishness. Now, the timing of this. Was it good timing? Was it bad timing for this suing? Like, should he have done it earlier? Should he have done it at all? You know, he probably see that his money is not on a rise. It's not to the point to where it's rising no more. His money gonna start decreasing. He ain't gonna never see that type of money that he used to see no more. He's about to do a tour in Australia. Do Drake really want to go to Australia and do a tour? You know he want to be in the USA touring and rapping and doing his songs or whatever. But let me play some clips about timing from DJ Akademiks. And he went in. And you know, he always stood for Drake, but he went in on this clip.
Is here, music is forever changed. Forever changed. Forever changed. Because now, once music gets to a certain level, like, yeah, maybe drill music still happens, or certain lower level music still happens where people are saying, yo, you a bitch, I heard you slept with a transformer, which might be a lie. Yeah, maybe if nobody cares, but once you get to a mid-tier artist, you know what they're gonna institute? We gotta review your music for factuality. Oh, you said that nigga was a bitch and he got slapped and somebody stuck the gun in his ass? Well, we need to have, before you could say that, I sound good on the record, but we need to be able to prove it, because if they come back around and sue us for defamation or sue us for whatever, we're going to have to pay out, because we had to pay Drake because Kendrick lied that he was a pedophile and he's not a pedophile, and we had to pay Drake $2 billion. So now we got to police y'all niggas. The music industry was changed. So it's either completely changes or they treat Drake like they treat everybody else. Yo, we're going to violate you in court. And then not only we're going, and this is what, you know, I really, you know, I'm hoping at some point, whether to me or somebody, Drake kind of explains this, because I don't think only violating him in court is what UMG's response going to be. You got to, you got to remember, they always said back in the days of the knights and all that type of stuff, when people had castles, when somebody tried to invade your spot, invade your, like, yo shit, after you defeat them in war, you cut their head off and you put it on a stake outside of the fucking palace. You know why? You got to send a message to everybody else. Don't come up in this bitch. This is what happens. So Universal got to send a message to Drake. They got to. They can't just, they got to send a message. They want to do it in court. But do you think they want to send, they probably want to send a message by whatever shit he was about to drop with Party? You better drop that on 100gigs.com. You better not try to drop that through us, nigga. We gonna make sure that shit flop. We gonna make sure that shit don't go nowhere. All that perception of you being so hot, we gonna make sure this shit look away now, nigga. We got to make an example out of you. And by the way, here's the thing. Universal have been making examples out of niggas for a long time. They made an example out of Kanye. They made an example out of 50 Cent.
Fact.
Anytime a nigga think he's too big for their britches, granted, you might argue like, oh no, well, I would argue when 50, put it like this, 50 was the hottest thing smoking from 2002, 2003 to 2005. And in 2005, 2006, the moment he went against Jimmy Iovine and not necessarily he didn't even touch Lucian. He didn't even get to Lucian. He got to one of the niggas who was on the list below Lucian. At that point, they said, I hope you got some movie scripts because you're done here, nigga.
You know, he said they took Ye down. UMG on Def Jam. Took 50 down. They don't want to invest in your career once you disgruntled about the money. But you know what's crazy? At the top of the podcast, I was telling y'all about what I seen right before I got on the show from Law and Crime on YouTube. I'm going to play the clip, man. This thing is going crazy right now. That XXXTentacion killer calls out Drake in appeal brief.
Which I'll refer to him as X for this interview because his stage name was XXXTentacion, which was the victim in this case. Prior to him being murdered, he had posted on Instagram, if anybody kills me, I'm snitching right now, it's Champagne Poppy. I'm paraphrasing, but something to that effect, right? So imagine the decedent said prior to his death, if anybody kills me, it's Champagne Poppy, which is Drake's Instagram name. I laid out in extreme detail all of my defense witnesses list, which included many rappers, because at the end of the day, the victim in this case was a rapper. He had feuds, ongoing public feuds with not only Drake, but a lot of rappers that are either signed to OVO or related to Drake in some way, including 600 Breezy, which is a Chicago-based rapper, and a rapper that's from Toronto by the name of, he goes by Top 5, which is Hassan Ali. And I had to lay that all out in detail. The court was fully aware of my theory of defense. Prior to that, I filed a motion to perpetuate the testimony of Livingston Allen, which goes by the name of DJ Akademiks, because DJ Akademiks was friends with X and had posted long YouTube, content regarding this beef. He actually posted a YouTube saying that he was on the phone with X discussing the issue and the beef that he had with Drake, and specifically X had either said or posted something about Drake's mom, and he had posted a picture of a Drake lookalike with semen on his face, and he wanted DJ Akademiks to post it on his own site, and he said, I'm not going to do that. And in that conversation, DJ Akademiks says that you better be careful because even
we ain't get ready to play the YouTube commercials at the end of the day, but y'all see where I was going by playing that clip. The small hats work fast, don't they? How convenient is it that in a court of law you got people appealing their case saying that Drake had something to do with the murder of XXXTentacion? Link in the description below, man. I'm getting ready to show y'all that. Link in the description below. Y'all got to go check that out, man. Before I got on this show, that was at 2,000 views. I've been on the show for 29 minutes. It's at 100,000 views already. People checking that out. Going crazy on Law and Crime YouTube channel. But we get ready to play a clip from Rory. Rory is a participant. He used to be on Joe Budden podcast, but now him and Maul got their own show, the Rory and Maul show. And he had something to say on his Instagram about music industry scams. Let's get it.
I have no dog in this fight. I like Kendrick's music. I like Drake's music. I also think both of them have used bots via UMG, whether they knew it or not. What stood out to me in that paperwork was the accusation that UMG lowered their licensing rate by 30% for Not Like Us. Just a quick history lesson. How we even got to the value of what a stream is was based off Spotify and the three majors negotiating on what that value would be. What makes it even crazier is all three majors have actual stock and ownership within Spotify. That would be illegal in any other business in the world, but it's the music industry, so anything can fly. To the point that I worked at a major when Spotify went public, and they emailed all of us as employees and said, you cannot buy stock because that would be insider trading. Now imagine you're an artist and you know that the people that own your music plus the people that distribute your music, which is a whole separate tech company, are in cahoots to define what a dollar means within the music industry. And then you later find out that for one artist in one song, they devalued that dollar. You wouldn't have an issue with it?
You know, this beef has exposed so much to me. The three major record labels in the music industry and the streaming platforms is running an illegal monopoly that Drake is going to expose. Now, I like Kendrick's raps and I like what he stands for and everything. I like Drake raps. But, you know what I mean? I know some things that the public may not know, that he's been a shitty individual behind the scenes. And at the end of the day, I would want him to win this lawsuit and expose those three entities to change the way that the music is getting paid, because 70% of a penny per stream is an astronomical fail. It's just bullshit. Now, I'm going to read y'all the three things from this petition that caught my attention. Real talk, man. The first one I want to read is this, though. A notable specific claim that Drake lawyers make in these documents is that UMG paid Apple Inc. to have Siri purposely misdirect users to not like us when they asked to play Drake's 2021 album, Certified Lover Boy. Of course, Not Like Us includes the infamous lyric and allegation, Certified Lover Boy, certified. You know, y'all heard that at the top of the show. I played that at the top of the show. At the very beginning of the podcast, I said, play Certified Lover Boy. And y'all heard what came on. Kendrick Lamar song. They had altered. If you play, you know, it does that in a lot of things though, but damn, a artist that's as big as Drake, that should not be happening. And it ain't that I'm defending Drake and against Kendrick. It ain't that I'm against Drake and defending Kendrick. I really don't care about any of them. I'm objectively speaking, like the title at the bottom of the show. Now, that's foul though. He got reason. And I got the proof on my channel that he got reason. Now, let's get into the next clip. Drake's attorney accused UMG of violating the Racketeer Influence and Corruption Organizations Act, implementing deceptive pay-to-play business practices and using false advertising under New York state law and court documents. His attorneys claimed they tried to meet and confer with UMG for the past several months, but the label declined to enter into substantive negotiations and instead allegedly insisted they take it up with Lamar directly. So the label said, take it up with Kendrick Lamar. We gave him the money. He did whatever he did to get the bots going. Oh, he didn't even sue Kendrick. He sued them. Now they want him to sue Kendrick. Take it up against Kendrick. He ain't going to do that because that's going to make him look foul. He taking it up against them, which is the bigger issue. Like, this is interesting. This is really interesting. I'm interested in seeing where this go. Now, I'm going to play UNG response. I'm going to read it to y'all. I'm going to get up off of this thing, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to my show. And what y'all think is going to happen in this case? Is this going to be a Diddy situation? They going to get Drake out of here? Or is he going to win the case? Real talk. But this is UMG response. Responding to the initial allegations in yesterday's first filing, a Universal Music Group spokesperson issued the following statement to MBW. The suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotion campaigns. No amounts of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans choose their music they want to hear. Whew. Let me read that again. No amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact the fans choose the music they want to hear. Do y'all believe that? Because I don't. You know, y'all might say I'm a conspiracy theorist or a person that's looking for something negative to find or whatever. But at the end of the day, I know that they are tampering with the minds of the people. When they over promoting something, when you hear something on multiple times on the radio, fans ain't choosing what they want to hear. They programmed on what they hear. And then it becomes convenient to them because they used to it. And it's normalized. And you are forced to like what they tell you is good instead of liking what you actually like and the energy that your body is telling you to vibrate to. You don't even know what you like because you accept the promotion. You accept the programming. You keep the radio on in your car. You keep allowing people to tell you what's cool and what ain't cool. Man, crazy times, dog. Thank y'all for tuning in, though. Peace, love, plenty, abundance. Make sure you go get you some money. And I'm gone. Chill.
I can't let the time pass me by. I just want to be with you. I can't let the time pass me by. I just want to live my truth. I can't let the time live my truth, nigga. What it do? Came up at the bricks, now copping by the deuce. Homes and cars, I'm internally scarred. I externally barred. I've been going so hard. $1 million is minimum. The killers, I'm sending them. I prevailed from hell. Didn't need no Ritalin. My rivals apologize. They know I'm the middleman. The head honcho, get to it pronto.
The XXXTen Podcast.